How y'all doing today? I hope everything's going good. I feel that I've got my painting in a good position where I want to be. There's a lot of detail that I've put in it since the last time you've been with, if you've been keeping up with it. Since the last time you've seen it, I've done a lot of detail to it. I'm going to get my helper to scan this right here, give you an opportunity to see it. And I've weighed one side of my painting quite a bit. Real heavy on this side, but I wanted to give it a little openness feeling over here. Let that mountain ridge back there kind of be my open place. Let the painting breathe kind of a little bit, up in here. And it's still busy, but it's going to give it a distant feel. I didn't want to cluster that up too much. But lots of limb work. Try to get a good close up if you can. Hoping you can see that. But it's coming. I still got to put door handles on here, little lights by the door, a couple little things in there I want to still do. But I'm getting close to the back being done. If you've got a scan of it, come back in here, you'll see where I'm going to, of course there'll be some presents inside of this bag here, but I'm going to have the street lamp, and this is going to be cobblestone. That's what I'm fixing to do. In just a minute we're going to start right here. That's going to come down into here, have a little sidewalk ringed off, give it a little more cobblestone feel. And what we're going to be doing, of course Santa Claus ain't done yet. I think the last clip that's what we was doing, and I haven't done much more to it. I just threw some whites on here to speed up the process. And we're going to be working on the cobblestone little sidewalk here, and we're going to start working on the L's. So come on. Start with these boots. Get a little rough end going here. I've been quite enjoyed putting these L's in my picture. The last one that I did was I enjoyed it. They bring a little bit. I had a lot of feedback on my L's, and it was all good. So figured I'd put some more in this one, since it is the North Pole, basically a different view of it. And everybody really liked the L, so like I said, I figured I'd stay with something that's doing good. I believe in gravitating towards success anytime I can. And I personally have liked the L's. Growing up, that was always a kind of a big thing to me too. Santa has to help his helpers. Raise my easel up. Sorry about that. Adjust it out a little bit. I believe if you're out there and you're an artist and you paint, or if you're just starting to paint, I believe you're, keeping your easel at a good, comfortable position is good, especially when you paint as much as I do and put a lot of hours into it. It will really wear on you if you're constantly bending over like this. It can really get to your neck and your back, and it jumps on you pretty quick. If you've painted already, I'm sure you got an idea of what I'm saying on that one. But if you haven't, like I said, it's something to keep in mind, keeping your easel at a comfortable position. Keep working. Last time, if you watched my last video when we was doing the boots, I'm doing the same thing basically. Just I'm leading off with my darker colors. As you can, if you're getting a good up close view here, you can see where I leave the drawing a little bit. And eventually I start taking those out. But it's just a rough end at this point. I like to get my colors on there. I like that. We're going to make the bottom of their boots dark. I give it a nice little rough end. And to me, that's a pretty important feature too, to make sure the boot's up. Really want to show that in this picture. Now I'm going to start throwing some darks in here. Darker areas, back of the boot away from the light. Anywhere you believe as you paint that you're going to start losing the light, where light can't get to it, you start hammering darks on it. Now we're going to go up in here, and I'm going to start putting some cobblestone through here where they broomed off the sidewalk, or shoveled it off, should I say, and start giving it a little cobblestone feel. I've darkened it in with some burnt umber. Now I'm going to come back with some burnt sienna, a little bit of gesso, and start putting the actual stones in there. And all I'm really wanting to do right now is just kind of break it up, give it a little look. Start adding a little more highlight to it. When you're doing these stones, it's kind of like I use the example of a quarter. You take a quarter or a nickel, whatever you want to use, a coin. When it's upright like this, you're looking straight onto it. But as you start looking at it going away, the angle that it's perceived as, you start seeing less of the coin until it actually becomes eye level and all you see is the flat part of it. So that's what you want to kind of keep in mind when you're doing cobblestone, depending on, it gets done wrong so many times, more often than not. I see a lot of paintings that they're not done accurately for the angle that you're perceiving it at or you're looking at it at. It happens quite a bit, and personally, when I look at them and I see them, it's such a big eyesore that it takes away from the painting so much that it really takes the joy out of however well the painting is painted. It takes a lot of the joy out of enjoying it when you see something that is so off in perspective. It really is an important feature, in my opinion, to get that angle just right. So I like to really focus on stuff like that and get that certain look. Now I'm going to take a detailed bristle brush. I have different names for them. I like to call them cutter brushes for cutting in lines, but just a detailed bristle brush. And it gives me a little bit more sharper so I can hit these edges, like I said, like a coin. You start seeing the front part of that at the angle that we're looking at it at, so you get more of this. And you can see where you're looking into the cobblestone. And it's very important to me that that angle is perceived right. I'd rather have the angle right than my colors not be right. It's just that important to me. And once I get those right, then I'll come back in there and start putting my darks in for the cracks. And I'll get my liner brush for that. Makes life a little easier with that. You need something that you can dig in there and get into them cracks with. So I'll just take this and just job it into my cracks. And that kind of lifts it too. Brings it back out. Kind of flattens the cobblestone in the front. so. And that's not a bad little rough in there. I can live with that one. All right, stay tuned and I'll be right back.